It was nice to see some rain last night, but there's even more to come. I'll walk you through the timeline for rain this afternoon and again over the weekend.
4-year high. This morning, the average cost of gas in Raleigh now $4.12 a gallon. A breakdown of the spike in prices since the war on Iran began.
Violent political threats. A man accused of threatening President Trump caused the evacuation of an Apex business. The charges he faces ahead of his first court appearance today. We're following those stories and more. WRAL News at 8 on Fox 50 starts in about 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Your number one source for local news. This is WRAL, coverage you can count on.
Good morning. The time is 8 a.m. here on your Friday Eve. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Ken Smith. We're tracking some rain coming in to the forecast. Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, tracking it all for us.
Yes. And you can see if we change over to Weather 3, you can see our next weather maker and you can see where our rain is. This is a look at dual Doppler 5000 from last night, but we'll get to the rest of the weather coming up.
All right, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Here's a look at I-40 and Rock Quarry Road. We're getting reports of a rollover crash somewhere in that vicinity. We're not seeing the crash on this camera, but right now you can see the congestion that's building on that southern loop of the Beltline. I'll keep an eye on it and let you know how much it's going to affect your morning commute. But right now we're looking at a 7-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. If you're coming in from the Garner, Johnston County area and I-40 westbound, no delays to report. If you navigating I-40 westbound through Wade Avenue, that's delay-free as well. We're going to hop over to Apex. We've been monitoring some congestion on US 1 North. These are the lanes moving away from us this morning. Of course, these are the southbound lanes, the exit to Williams Road. Williams Road might be an alternate route for you this morning, depending on where you're headed. You also might want to take NC 540 as an alternate route to avoid what's happening there. But right now, you're only looking at a 4-minute delay coming in from Apex. You're looking at a 12-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest on US 1 South. And that's a combination of the traffic lights and the congestion we see this time of the morning. Things are definitely easing up coming in out of Nightdale. Right now, you're just looking at a 3-minute delay on I-87, those southbound lanes. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Okay, Ken, thank you. Power is restored for hundreds in Orange County after overnight storms. The WRAL breaking news tracker saw the power crews there on Dairyland Road. That's northwest of Chapel Hill near Old NC 86. The storms knocked down a tree with damaged equipment, and the outage was reported around 10:30 last night. At the outage's peak, we saw 600 customers who were without power. A Raleigh man is due in court today after a late-night stabbing. The WRAL breaking news tracker was at the scene at around 11:30 last night on Shadowland Crossing. That's just off Old Wake Forest Road. Police say when they got there, they found the person who had been stabbed. That person is expected to be okay. Court records show police arrested 52-year-old Anthony Perry. He's charged with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill.
Today, Governor Josh Stein plans to take action on a near $320 million plan to fund the state's Medicaid program. 1 in 4 North Carolinians rely on the program for health care. Medicaid is set to run out of funding within weeks unless this bill becomes law. Governor Stein can sign the bill, veto it, or allow it to become law without his signature. He has not indicated what he'll do, though. The bill passed the legislature with near unanimous support, but some Democrats have taken issue with provisions in the bill unrelated to the funding, including some targeting at immigrants. For more on the debate and what's at stake, head to the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com.
Well, gas prices are climbing quickly across North Carolina and here in the Triangle. New data from AAA this morning shows the statewide average is up to $4.02 a gallon. In Raleigh, we're looking at $4.12. And in the Durham-Chapel Hill area, it's $4.14. So new this morning, the price for oil has also surpassed $126 a barrel. That's the highest it's been in 4 years. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live at a gas station in Raleigh this morning. And Kelsey, gas prices are up 45 cents in Raleigh since the start of the war.
Yes, Laura. This morning, Raleigh gas prices are at a 4-year high. So gas at this Exxon on Atlantic Boulevard is $4.19 a gallon here in Raleigh. That's just above the Raleigh average. That's at $4.12 a gallon. So let's break down how much prices have gone up since the start of the war. Just after the war began, the average cost in Raleigh was $2.83 a gallon. A month ago, it was up almost $1 to $3.80 a gallon. 2 weeks ago, on April 16th, it was $3.90, and this morning it's up to $4.12 a gallon. Driver Charla Outlaw says higher gas prices affect people who use their car as a source of income.
People that do like ride share, people that use delivery services for their jobs, their income, it costs a lot for them to be able to go back and forth, to be able to provide services to other people.
To find the lowest gas prices anywhere, download our WRAL News app and search fuel. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
A man is due in Wray County Court today after he was accused of making violent threats toward President Trump in Apex. Sky 5 over that scene yesterday at a car wash on Little Pine Drive after it was evacuated. Police arrested a man from South Carolina connected to this situation. Daniel Swain is facing charges of possession of meth and resisting a public officer. He's being held at the Wray County Detention Center. Apex police, the FBI and SBI, and a bomb squad responded to that area. The rear window of the suspect's car was covered in messages including "Tell Donald he's fired," 5 dead, 5 years, and 3 Navy teacher trucker. The meaning of those messages still unclear. Retired Judge Carl Fox says that kind of language, though, may not meet the legal threshold for a threat.
So it would have to be something more than that he would have to have said or done, or they found in his car or in his home, because I suspect that there will be a search of his home.
We're working to confirm if Swain will face any charges related to the reported threats against President Trump.
A hearing is set for today for the man accused of trying to assassinate President Trump last weekend. New court filings are shedding light on Cole Allen's actions leading up to the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. A petition to keep Allen in custody reveals he's accused of planning the attack for weeks. Prosecutors say Allen took pictures of himself with his weapons before the dinner. They also say he checked President Trump's schedule on his phone several times. Allen faces life in prison and, if convicted, on the attempted assassination charge.
Happening today, Carytown officials are considering another step in plans to revitalize Cary's oldest mall. We're talking about South Hills. That's where we find WR's Kirsten Clark this morning. Kirsten, this could result in an additional property tax in that area.
Yes, Ken, and I want you to take a look here at just one of the many empty stores that we're seeing these days here at South Hills. Despite this, many people don't want to have to pay an extra cost to see this area revitalized. But this additional property tax is different. Cary's assistant town manager, that's Scott Berry, told me the property tax would only apply to the South Hills property owners. The tax would be part of a municipal service district. It would help pay for revitalization and services like maintenance and security here. And the town council can now direct the town staff to prepare a report, including a map of the proposed district. They must then make that report available to the public, followed by a public hearing before the council votes on it.
We see these special service areas around quite a bit in North Carolina. There's about 60 of them, a little over 60 of them in the state. And so an area like South Hills that will have additional infrastructure, additional people, could be interested in having one of these to provide additional services.
And this comes as many people are already asking what's next for South Hills. Our WRAL Investigates team got some answers which can be found on WRAL.com. As for the proposed South Hills Municipal Service District, it's on the agenda for tonight's Cary Town Council meeting at 6:30. Live in Cary, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
A man accused of secret peeping and exposing himself at a Wake County Kohl's is being held in jail without bond. Brian Cruz had a court hearing yesterday. He is charged with sexual battery, secret peeping, and indecent exposure. Cruz is accused of photographing or recording a woman at the Kohl's in Apex on April 16th. Meanwhile, a Wake County high school student is out of jail this morning after being accused of secret peeping at school. John Gorganes faces a misdemeanor charge for secret peeping. He was arrested earlier this week. Wake Schools told us that he is a student at Inlow High School. This is the second time this week someone has been arrested for secret peeping at a Wake County school.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are supporting or criticizing the Supreme Court ruling on Louisiana's congressional map. We're talking about the U.S. Supreme Court. In a 6-3 ruling, the justices said the map was racially gerrymandered and it will need to be redrawn. That's despite the map being drawn to comply with the Voting Rights Act. It was drawn in 2024, added a second majority black district in that state, but the ruling now limits the use of the Voting Rights Act to create predominantly black or Hispanic election districts. Critics of the ruling say this will dilute minority voices at the ballot box. Supporters say the voting map is unconstitutional.
The Supreme Court has opened the door to a coordinated attack on black voters across this country. This is an outright power grab.
I just talked to some folks who have gone through it, and they said that this is obviously the right result. They determined that the last map that was drawn for Louisiana was done unconstitutionally, and we've been saying that consistently from the beginning.
Well, it's unclear what will happen to the voting map this late in the election cycle. Military and overseas ballots have already been sent out based on the old map.
Your time now, 8:11. Data center pushback. Many local governments are voting against these projects, but not Vance County. Why they are moving forward and why some are asking the governor to weigh in.
Also, White House visit. How the Trump administration honored NC State grad Christina Cook and the other Artemis II astronauts.
And our next weather maker is a big area of rain and thunderstorms. It's about to push on up into our viewing area. I'll let you know when it arrives where you are and how much rain we can see. And our next weather maker is headed our way. It's about to cross over toward Lumberton, eventually rolling into parts of Fayetteville and northward as well. So this is a big band of rain here. It has a lot of lightning with it. As it moves northward and eastward, it will weaken a bit and we'll likely have some rumbles of thunder in our southern counties. We may not see as much of that in our northern counties. It's about a 30 to 40% chance that we're going to see some rain between, say, 9 and 10 and around 2 in the afternoon. It's definitely gray across our area right now. 57 in Raleigh, 55 in Roanoke Rapids, and 59 in Rocky Mountain. If you're headed out for exercise right now, it looks good. I think once we get to like 9 or 10, we start to see that rain rolling in. It depends on where you are. It'll be a little later than that, the farther north you are. If you want to wait till it's over, by 3 or 4 in the afternoon, the sunshine is back and temperatures will be in the mid 70s. Coming up, we'll talk about soaking rain for Saturday. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, we're staying on top of the situation that's happening on that southern loop of the Beltline as we take a live look at I-40 and Rock Quarry Road. That's not the issue. Photographer Michael Jordan just showed up on the scene on I-40 westbound. This is a rollover crash not far from Garner Road, Hammond Road area on I-40 westbound. It's not impeding traffic in any way, but you can see it's off into the brush there on that westbound lane of I-40. But again, it's not causing any delays for you this morning. So right now on that southern loop of the Beltline, you're just looking at a 4-minute delay at this hour. If you're coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area and I-40 westbound, no delays to report at this hour.
Ken, thank you. New this morning, country music singer and songwriter David Allan Coe has died. His wife confirmed his death to Rolling Stone. Coe was known for his hit songs, including Take This Job and Shove It, and You Never Even Called Me by My Name. A cause of death has not been disclosed. He was 86. People locally are raising concerns about new data centers coming to town. Many communities like Apex and Wendell and Chatham and Orange counties have already paused any development plans. In other areas, some people are fighting for the same action. People in Vance County are now calling on state leaders to consider mandates and limitations on data center development. And that's because local leaders approved a 40-acre site in Henderson.
I would like Governor Josh Stein to pass a moratorium at this point by the state to study data centers, the effect it has on our air quality, our water quality, our land values.
Residents say concerns with noise and energy usage are why they don't support this. WRAL reached out to Natelli Investments, which is the developer of the Vance County site. We're still waiting to hear back. And we have done many stories on data centers in recent months, including how it affects energy prices and the environment. You can find our coverage right now on the WRAL YouTube channel.
Well, students in Cumberland County will not be in class tomorrow. The school board voting to make it an optional teacher workday. Thousands of educators from across the state plan to gather in Raleigh tomorrow to voice concerns about the budget and teacher pay in North Carolina. According to the North Carolina Association of Educators, nearly 20 school districts will be on teacher workdays or closed. Well, tomorrow's rally will start around 10 o'clock in the morning on Halifax Mall. This is video from last year's rally. There will be speakers, then teachers will start marching around noon and will wrap up with meetings with lawmakers.
The Artemis II astronauts visited the White House. You can see with this photo, this visit happened just weeks after their historic mission around the moon. They traveled farther from Earth than any other humans before. NASA established the Artemis program during the president's first term. President Trump says he wants Americans back on the moon during his second. The Artemis II mission is set for Artemis III, I should say, mission is set for next year.
You know, we haven't had a lack of rain, which also means less severe weather than usual during the month of April. Let's bring in meteorologist Grant Skinner joining us live from the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Grant, we ended up having severe weather last night, though, and we have another over a dozen storms reports.
Yeah, so multiple reports yesterday, and that's a lot more than we've seen across the entire month. Almost 4 times the reports we've had the entire month. We had only 3 from the start of April through April 28th. You can see a hail report and a couple of wind reports to the 28th. But then on the 29th, we had a lot. And you can actually look at a YouTube video online. Amy Wilmot did this video with Jalen on our YouTube page. It is kind of talks about why we were so quiet for the majority of the month and how that drought conditions did impact that. But look at yesterday. 14 reports, 5 hail reports, and 9 wind reports across the entire state, with several across our area. Just to the north and west, we had a storm that started close to portions of Rockingham County. You see a wind report there, gradually moved to the south and east. Then we saw more reports stretching from parts of Guilford County near Greensboro towards Alamance and Orange counties. And the storms continue to work south and east with more reports filling in here. A lot of reports towards parts of Orange County into Durham County with severe thunderstorm warnings, finally pushing into parts of Wake County. And then the storms finally weakened. We saw a lot of heavy rain, though, a lot of lightning. Elizabeth, it was very active last night. And again, we had not had much severe weather at all throughout the entire month. So wild to finally see that. And also some much needed rain for a lot of our area.
And we saw as much as 1.5 inches in at least one little spot. You know, with thunderstorms, though, we tend to see rain that is not equal across the area. Now, our next weather maker may bring slightly more equal amounts of rain because it's more of just a solid shield of rain. We do have some thunder and lightning with this. It's likely to be heavier from Raleigh southward because this is just going to continue to kind of slide eastward, southeastward as it moves toward our viewing area. But it's getting very close to Hoke County and Moore County. It looks like between 9 and 10, we really start to see that pushing into our viewing area. And that's today, of course. So you can see Rockingham seeing some rain. There's Pinehurst. So kind of that leading edge almost into Moore and Hoke counties. So, and most of us should end up being able to see some rain. A couple of spots that had more rain than anybody else. Oxford at about 1.5 inches, a little over 1 inch in Lewisburg, then 0.5 inch in Franklinton and in Stem. But a lot of folks really didn't see much rain at all yesterday. Durham proper, Raleigh City didn't see much. It's just these blue shaded areas that had maybe up to 0.5 inch of rain. But, you know, that's the way it goes for summertime. This is a look at 9 o'clock. You can see that rain starting to push into our area by 10 or 10:30, working its way into the triangle. There may not be much north and west of Durham. Excuse me. But from Raleigh southward and eastward, hoping for at least 1/4 inch out of this. And then another round of rain, of course, arrives as we get into Friday night and Saturday. We'll start to clear a little bit later on today. Our next weather maker is a coastal low, and the farther inland it comes, the more rain we'll all see. It'll be widespread showers without a lot of storms. It's going to bring some chilly temperatures along with it. Friday at 6 p.m., we have rain in our southern counties and then some clouds overnight. And then in the morning on Saturday, we start to see more rain. There's 9 a.m. Saturday. Look at all that rain covering us on Saturday at 2 o'clock. That's assuming that that low is a little farther inland. This is going to be more of a worst or best case scenario. If you have outdoor plans, not so great, but we need that rain certainly. As much as 1 inch in our southern counties, as little as 1/4 inch in our northern counties. Again, it stays pretty chilly with that too. Our temperature likely to be only around 60 for the high on Saturday. Ken?
Elizabeth, happening now, boy, we're taking a look at that southern loop of the Beltline. Just to give you an idea, some perspective, because I-40 Rock Quarry Road, you see traffic flowing nicely in those westbound lanes, but take a look at what's happening when you get up around the Garner Road area off of I-40 westbound. This is a live look with the help of photographer Michael Joyner. It's a situation where there was a rollover crash off onto the, in the grassy area there on I-40 westbound. You can see first responders and the tow truck on the shoulder of the road. So it's not impeding traffic in any way. So right now you're just looking at a 3-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. Really nothing that's going to make you late. Here's a live look at that northern loop of the Beltline, I-440 and New Bern Avenue. Traffic has definitely picked up, but flowing at a nice steady clip. Right now you're just looking at a 10-minute delay on that northern loop of the Beltline at this hour.
Okay, Ken, thank you. Time now 8:23. A warning for pet owners. The state is trying to encourage people to take a closer look at pet boarding facilities after a dog died at one. 5 on your side tells you what to look out for before your drop-off of your pet.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. The time is 8:26. I'm Laura Levine. Let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking more rain for us today, Elizabeth, and this weekend.
Yes. So this is our next weather maker coming out of South Carolina, starting to lift closer to our viewing area. And that's going to bring us some rain this morning. It does end by, say, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then after that, we'll see some sunshine. But just be prepared. Anytime between, say, 10 and 1 o'clock or so, you may need your umbrella if you're running errands or have a meeting to go to. This is a live look at Garner right now. And you can see gray skies here. Temperatures are anywhere from the mid-50s in Roanoke Rapids to mid-60s in Fayetteville, mostly upper 50s to near 60 in the Triangle right now. If you have to take your kids to after-school practices, it looks like it's going to be nice and dry by 3 o'clock, and the sunshine returns with highs in the mid-70s. Ken?
Elizabeth, happening now. We're going to take this live look at I-40 westbound. There's a crash right off the shoulder of the road into the grassy area, actually, with the help of photographer Michael Joyner. Actually just hauled it away on the tow truck. We're trying to figure out exactly what else and how this crash happened here in that southern loop of the Beltline, but it's not causing any delay because the first responders are actually on the shoulder of the road. Right now, you're just looking at a 3-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline.
Power is restored for hundreds in Orange County after overnight storms. The outage happened on Dairy Lane Road, northwest of Chapel Hill, near Old NC 86. Overnight storms knocked down a tree, which damaged equipment. The outage was reported around 10:30 last night, and it was restored this morning. And this morning, Raleigh gas prices are at a 4-year high. Today's average is $4.12 a gallon, up 2 cents from yesterday. Prices are up more than 45% since the start of the war. We have more news coming up next on Fox 50.
It was nice to see some rain last night, but there's even more to come. I'll walk you through the timeline for rain this afternoon and again over the weekend.
4-year high. This morning, the average cost of gas in Raleigh, now $4.12 a gallon. A breakdown of the spike in prices since the war on Iran began.
Violent political threats. A man accused of threatening President Trump caused the evacuation of an Apex business. The charges he faces ahead of his first court appearance today. All that and more coming up here in this half hour. We're so glad you're with us. I'm Ken Smith.
And I'm Laura Levine. You can see behind us some pretty ominous and dark clouds here. We have meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking the rain that's making its way in our area today. Elizabeth.
Yes, we're watching this. It's sort of behind the front. We have a disturbance that's rolling through. It's moving on up into South Carolina and toward our viewing area. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning between Charleston and Myrtle Beach there. I wouldn't expect any widespread thunderstorms for us. Mostly going to be rain with a few rumbles of thunder. I wouldn't expect anything severe as this moves on in, but it's getting very close to both Moore County and Hoke County right now. As we move ahead to, say, 9 and 10 o'clock, it should continue to move into our viewing area. Here's 10:30 with rain in Fayetteville and Clinton and some isolated showers from, say, Raleigh to Durham. If you're up near the Virginia line, you may not see a whole lot of this, but I think from Durham southward and eastward, we'll have at least some light scattered rain, and that will last up until early afternoon. Once we get into mid to late afternoon, afternoon, we see some sunshine. And so we'll see skies clearing behind this and temperatures will climb nicely. But right now, as we take a look at our picture of downtown Raleigh, live view from the Weld, it is 57 degrees with light winds. And then this afternoon, we clear out. Temperatures will climb into the mid 70s. We still look like we could see a good soaker on Saturday. I'll show you that coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We give you a live look at that northern loop of the Beltline, I-440 and New Bern Avenue. There was a situation right here, the entrance ramp, but that's since cleared in the last 10 minutes. You can still see the traffic has definitely picked up on that northern loop. So as we widen out the view, give you a look at what we're talking about here. You're looking at a 14-minute delay, and the bulk of the delay is really coming between Capitol Boulevard and the I-440, I-87 interchange. So keep that in mind as you're about to head out the door. So the southern loop of the Beltline, here's what we're looking at. You're looking at a 5-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. If you're coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area, no delays whatsoever. And here's a look at that southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 and Rock Quarry Road. You can see traffic is flowing at a nice steady clip. But again, you're looking at a 5-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. As we widen out the view, here's what we're looking at elsewhere. If you're coming in from Durham on I-40 eastbound, just a 1-minute delay. Our friends in Wake Forest coming in on US 1 South, you're looking at a 7-minute delay. No delays right now on I-87 coming in from Knightdale. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Power is restored for hundreds in Orange County after overnight storms. The WRAL breaking news tracker saw the power crews here on Dairy Lane Road. That's northwest of Chapel Hill near Old NC 86. The storms knocked down a tree which damaged equipment. The outage was reported around 10:30 last night. At the outage's peak, 600 customers were without power. A Raleigh man is due in court today because of a late-night stabbing. The WRAL breaking news tracker was at this scene at around 11:30 last night on Shadowland Crossing. That's just off Old Wake Forest Road. Police say when they got there, they found a person who was stabbed. That person is expected to be okay. Court records show police arrested 52-year-old Anthony Perry. He is charged with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. Happening today, Governor Josh Stein plans to take action on a $319 million plan to fund the state's Medicaid program. 1 in 4 North Carolinians rely on Medicaid for health care. The program is set to run out of funding in the next few weeks here, unless this bill becomes law. Stein can sign the bill, veto it, or let it become law without his signature. He hasn't indicated what he'll do. The bill passed the legislature with near unanimous support, but some Democrats have taken issue with provisions in the bill unrelated to the funding, including some targeted at legal immigrants. For more on the debate and what's at stake, you can head to the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com.
Well, new this morning, the price of oil surpassing $126 a barrel. That's the highest it's been in 4 years. And the average price of gas in the Triangle also hitting new heights. Nationally, an average gallon of gas is up 7 cents to $4.30. Across North Carolina, it's just a little over $4. And in Raleigh, it's $4.12. Let's bring in WRAL's Kelsey Coffey, I should say. She's live at a gas station this morning. Kelsey, Raleigh gas prices are up more than 45% since the war in Iran began.
Yes, Kim, this morning, Raleigh gas prices are at a 4-year high. So we'll go ahead and show you the prices here at this gas station on Atlantic Avenue. $4.19 a gallon. That's about 7 cents above the average in Raleigh this morning. We'll go ahead and break down how much prices have gone up since the start of the war. Just after the war began, the average cost in Raleigh was $2.83 a gallon. A month ago, it was up almost $1 to $3.80 a gallon. 2 weeks ago, on April 16th, it was $3.90 a gallon. And this morning, it's up to $4.12 a gallon. We spoke with drivers about how higher prices at the pump affect their bottom line.
I'm at $70 to fill my car up, literally. I've started taking pictures of it because people tell me, there's no way. And I'm like, yeah, it's really $70 to fill my car up. And that's unbelievable.
We know affordability is top of mind for a lot of folks out there, so download our WRAL News app to find the lowest gas prices. Just search fuel. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Well, a man is due in a Wake County court today after he was accused of making violent threats toward President Trump in Apex. Police arrested Daniel Swain from South Carolina. He's charged with possession of meth and resisting a public officer. He's being held at the Wake County Detention Center. Now, Apex Police, the FBI, SBI, a bomb squad, all responding to Tidal Wave Auto Spa. The rear window of the suspect's car was covered in messages including, "Tell Donald he's fired," 5 dead, 5 years, and 3 Navy teacher trucker. Now, the meanings of these messages still unclear. Retired Judge Carl Fox says that kind of language, though, may not meet the legal threshold for a threat.
So it would have to be something more than that he would have to have said or done, or they found in his car or in his home, because I suspect that there will be a search of his home.
We're working to confirm if Swain will face any charges related to the reported threats against President Trump.
Happening today, Cary town officials are considering the next step in plans to revitalize Cary's oldest mall. We're talking about South Hill here. WRAL's Kirsten Clark joins us live at South Hills this morning. And Kirsten, this could result in additional property tax in that area.
Yes, Laura, and I want you to take a look at what we're seeing here, or seeing these days rather, here at South Hills. Several of these empty stores just like this one. And despite this, many people don't want to have to pay an extra cost to see this area revitalized. But that additional property tax is different. Cary's assistant town manager, that's Scott Berry, told me that this property tax would only apply to the South Hills property owners. That tax will be part of what's called a municipal service district, and it would help pay for revitalization and services like maintenance and security here. The town council can now direct the town staff to prepare a report, including a map of the proposed district, and they must then make the report available to the public, followed by a public hearing before the council votes on it.
This is a longer process, the beginning of the process for the service district. So throughout the next year, we'll be working on this with the property owners, with council, and with anyone else who's interested.
And this comes as many people are questioning what's next for South Hills. Our WRAL Investigates team got some answers, and you can find those on WRAL.com. As for the proposed South Hills Municipal Service District, it's on the agenda to be discussed at tonight's Cary Town Council meeting, which starts at 6:30. Live in Cary, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
Family and friends will gather this weekend to remember former Miss North Carolina Cary Everett. A memorial service is being held to honor her. Everett died on Easter Sunday after her battle with an aggressive form of stomach cancer. She was just 22. She was just the 4th black woman to hold her title as Miss North Carolina and the first to attend an HBCU, North Carolina Central, after she won it in 2024. We spoke with Cary's friend and former competitor, Summer Carson, her pageant sister. She said when she learned Cary was sick, she flew across the country to Washington State to see her friend.
I didn't want to take any moment that she was here for granted. And so that trip means a lot. Like looking back, I would redo it 10 million times if I could, because now it's like, I feel like she's still going to come back here, but she's not. And so it's kind of a hard pill to swallow.
The memorial service is on Saturday at the World Victory Church in Greensboro. It starts at 3:30 and anyone is welcome to attend. And coming up in our 9 o'clock hour on Fox 50, I'll sit down with Michaela Young. She is a close friend of Cary and the current Miss Orange County. She'll talk about their friendship and Cary's life and legacy. You can also watch my one-on-one with Cary after she was crowned Miss North Carolina on our WRAL YouTube page. Just search Cary Everett.
Well, some people in Cumberland County are opposing proposed school closures. District leaders are considering closing Manchester and J.W. Kuhn elementary schools. Students will be reassigned next year. 5 people spoke against the closure at the meeting last night. No one spoke in favor of the plan. The board did not come to a final decision, though. Fertility bill filed, a new piece of legislation in front of lawmakers that could ban fertility doctors from using their own sperm, the local case that inspired the bill.
Plus, WRAL investigates the red flags at local boarding facilities and the one tool every pet owner should check before booking.
And we have a disturbance as rolling into northern South Carolina and about to push into our counties in the south and west. I'll let you know if you'll see this rain and how much. It is 8:44, and here comes our next weather maker. Starting to see a little bit of rain now creeping into Hoke and more counties. We'll zoom in on that just a little bit closer, and you can see almost to Southern Pines, seeing some rain in Pine Bluff. Rayford, you're about to see it as well. And all of this will continue to push northward and eastward. So Sanford, Lillington, on toward Chapel Hill and Raleigh, everybody's going to see some of this rain, except maybe right near the Virginia line. So 40% chance. It does move on by, most likely by the early part of the afternoon, and we'll be back to some sunshine. Right here in Southern Pines, it looks like the rain's not quite falling, but our golfer here at Longleaf Golf and Family Club is probably about to have a downpour in about another 15 minutes. 55 in Roanoke Rapids, 57 Durham, 60 in Goldsboro, so it's pretty comfortable out there right now. After school practices, yeah, it looks like the rain will be out by then. It should be over by 3 o'clock across the viewing area. Sunshine breaks out, and we'll see highs in the mid-70s. Another round of rain Friday night and much of the day Saturday. Ken?
Elizabeth, we are picking up some heavy congestion on US 1 North coming in out of Apex around US 1 North and Highway 55 right now. That delays between Highway 55, Williams Road, if you will, and 1010 Road. You can see what we're talking about here, the bumper-to-bumper traffic moving away from us this morning. So as we widen out the view, give you a look at our sensors this morning, you're looking at a 9-minute delay. So depending on where you're headed, you might want to just stay on Williams Road or take NC 540 as an alternate route at this hour.
Ken, thank you. A step toward ending the DHS funding lapse as we're taking a live look here over the U.S. Capitol this morning, where House Republicans adopted the Senate's budget blueprint overnight. This comes after the Senate adopted the blueprint just last week. Now House Republicans are putting pressure on the Senate to move quickly on the ICE funding bill. They're refusing to fund the rest of the Department of Homeland Security without that immigration enforcement money.
A bill filed to ban unwanted insemination in North Carolina. This will give the child or children the chance to sue. This happened after a Fayetteville woman discovered her mother's fertility doctor was actually her biological father, the father of more than 20 other people in North Carolina and beyond as well. Through a DNA test, Summer McKesson.
This conduct did violate the medical standard of care, and it did violate doctor-patient trust. Many states already have fraud laws that would have covered this conduct if we had only known it was occurring at the time. But you have to catch it within a certain period of time.
At least 15 other states already have laws like this on the books. McKesson calls the bill a chance for people to create some accountability.
A dog dead after jumping into a clothes dryer at a boarding facility. It's prompting the state to put a warning, hoping to educate pet owners on how to vet facilities. It's the focus of a WRAL investigation coming up tonight at 6. Sarah Kruger tells us more.
The tragic incident happened at a boarding facility in Forsyth County. The state says it's a reminder about the importance of vetting a place before dropping off your pet.
What do you want people to know as many people are, traveling and looking at boarding facilities for their pets?
I would love for people to start early. Look into your options. Talk to your friends who have actually boarded their animal in a facility. And then do a little investigation into that facility to make sure you are comfortable leaving your animal there.
That's Dr. Patricia Norris, the state's animal welfare director. Something pet owners may not know about is a free tool on the state's website that can be very helpful in your search.
Did you know that the state of North Carolina has a website where you can look up inspection reports for facilities?
I did not, no.
Is that something you might add to your list?
Absolutely. Yes, that makes it a lot easier.
Tonight at 6, we will walk you through how to use that tool step by step and the red flags that Dr. Norris says as a pet owner would cause her to walk into a facility and turn right back around. Sarah Kruger, WRAL News.
And you can catch Sarah's story tonight and also head to our YouTube page where Sarah has a detailed walkthrough of exactly how to use the state's database. Well, today is National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day. If you're considering becoming a pet parent or adding a furry friend to your family, there are some important things to know. It's important to give any pet from the shelter time to acclimate to their new home. Some may have past trauma and need time to feel safe in a new home. Those pets may enjoy having their own space, like a crate, and to eat and sleep in for a time. There are also some perks to choosing a shelter pet.
From my perspective as a veterinarian, I love, that we are adopting pets that comes from shelter because they do come with proper medical records. So you know that their vaccination is completed, you know that they've been neutered or they have been spayed.
If you already have animals at home, vets advise socializing them with a new pet through closed doors at first. That way they can get familiar with their smells and sounds before meeting.
Well, today's Hollywood Minute takes us to the stage, streaming, and cinema. Here's David Daniel with a look at some upcoming releases.
The revival of Evita, starring Rachel Zegler, is coming to Broadway. The production, directed by Jamie Lloyd, was a big hit last year in London, with Zegler winning multiple awards for her performance. It's due to hit Broadway in the spring of 2027.
This is a little overwhelming.
Claire Danes is lovesick. The Emmy-winning actress is set to star in and executive produce a new romantic drama series by that title for Netflix. It's based on the Israeli series The Best Worst Thing. Danes will play a breast cancer surgeon who receives her own cancer diagnosis.
No one could stand between my men and home.
The Odyssey is the latest epic from a filmmaker known for them, Christopher Nolan. But apparently that doesn't mean it'll be epically long. Nolan said recently it's shorter than his longest film, the Oscar-winning Oppenheimer, which ran 3 hours. The Odyssey unspools in theaters July 17th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, we've got our own movie playing out right here on the 5000 because we've got some rain coming into the area, much needed rain.
We do, much needed rain. It's likely to be half an inch or less, and then we have another round on Saturday. Of course, we had those storms overnight last night, and there was some thunder and lightning with those. Take a look at this video. This was Chris O'Neill on a plane landing at RDU beside that line of thunderstorms as it came through. So pretty dramatic there to see all of that lightning. So a big thank you to Chris O'Neill for shooting that and sending it our way. We're going to see more of that. Maybe not a whole lot of lightning, but definitely looking at rain starting to push into our south and western counties right now. We'll zoom in a little closer, and you can see it's starting to move into southern Pines, the northwestern portion of Hope County here. It'll keep on pushing in. There could be some rumbles of thunder, and definitely from Raleigh southward, we'll have a better chance of some measurable rain out of this. Here's 9 o'clock, and you can see that rain pushing in by 10 or 10:30. It's a little heavier around Fayetteville or Clinton, but some scattered light rain around Raleigh and Durham. By the time we get to 1 or 2 o'clock, it should be mostly over. And then after that, the sunshine will return this afternoon. So it's a bit gray and it'll be wet through the middle of the day. And then after that, it'll be nice and bright. But we have another good chance for rain starting late Friday in the south and then spreading across our area on Saturday. 80%. And we probably could go ahead and bump that to maybe 90 or 100% because watching that coastal low, it is trending a little farther inland, and that means more rain spread across our area. That's not the final answer, however, so we'll keep watching it. If it starts to trend farther offshore, it means fewer of us would see any real helpful rain. We need 11 to 14 inches across our portion of North Carolina to get rid of the drought in a month's time, and certainly that seems practically impossible. In the next 7 days, we could, though, see anywhere from 1/4 of an inch in our northern counties to at least an inch in our southern counties. Don't forget that burn ban is still in effect until further notice. It seems like we've had several rounds of rain, but we have a long way to go to get rid of the drought, so that burn ban is still in effect. Take a live look from the Weld at downtown Raleigh. Gray skies right now, and a temperature of 57, so it's kind of gray and cool out there. 57 in Apex and Knightdale, 55 in Chapel Hill, and Fuquay Arena checking in at around 60. With sunshine later this afternoon, our temperatures will climb on up into the mid-70s. But Saturday, when that rain settles in, we'll get into a northerly flow that keeps us chilly all day with a high of 60. Sunshine back for Sunday.
Elizabeth, thank you. And before we go to break, here are the winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic next.